The simp economy has collapsed.
This year's May 20th Internet Valentine's Day was particularly different. It's not just the flowers scattered all over the ground that are broken, but also the hearts of single and gold digging women in China. The loudest cries online come from them. A lady who claims to represent older single women said, "Do older single women feel like breaking down on May 20th? I am breaking down, really breaking down. From the moment I woke up this morning until now, I haven't received a single greeting."
The simp economy is collapsing. It has collapsed, and women are furious about this while they're trying to deny reality. Why has the simp economy suddenly collapsed? Watch to the end of the video to find out why the simp economy has suddenly collapsed and the implications and the effect that it's having on women in society and what that means for women and society long term. Now let's just go ahead and jump right back into the video.
No one sent me a milk tea, let alone a gift or a red envelope. Do you think I should break down or not? The key thing is that there's something even more heartbreaking. Right now, I just want to give men gifts, send them rent envelopes, and order them milk tea. I want men to feel the warmth and care that we older single women can give. But I can't even find such a person. I want to be a simp right now. Does that make sense? But I don't even have the opportunity to be a simp. Do you think being a simp is bad? It's great. At least it proves you are still young, you can still feel moved, and you still have money.
You're still young, you can still feel moved, and you still have money. So women are now desperate. Some women are now desperate that they wish they could even just have a man that they could spend money on and buy the affection of. Because over in China, these men are walking away entirely, walking away from dating, walking away from relationships, walking away from communication. They are walking away saying, we don't want to have anything to do with these relationships. We would rather be single. We are only going to deal with those who are fit, feminine, and friendly. And what's happening now? Women are saying they wish they could be simps. Guys, what they're calling simping is what it means to be a woman overseas, to what foreign women have always been doing for men. What she calls simping is what Soraya calls competing for a man. Buying a man a milk tea, you know, giving him a massage, making sure that his needs are met, asking if he's hungry, making sure that he's fed before she eats, making sure that he has a drink before she drinks anything. Okay? Making sure that he's comfortable and he's asleep before she goes to sleep. This is something that women overseas have done for a long time. This is something that traditional women have done for a long time. You see, women overseas in countries like the Philippines, even in Germany, even in, Thailand, these women were raised to be wives and mothers. So they know how to take care of a man. They know how to cook and clean for themselves. When you go to other countries, a lot of countries overseas, the women overseas don't like eating out every day. They prefer to eat their own food because they were raised eating their own food. They were conditioned to eat their own food. So they don't like eating junk food as much because it has very little substance. They want the foods that they grew up eating, so they want to prepare those foods. Also, it's a part of their culture. They enjoy cooking, they enjoy cleaning, they enjoy living in a very clean environment. When they get married and they have a man of all of their own, they like being able to make sure his clothes are clean. They like ensuring that their man looks good and smells good because that's the man that they're with. That's their man. Modern women don't view things like this. They just see the man as a provider, an ATM, and all they want are his attention, his time, and his money. They don't actually want him, nor do they actually like him. They simply need him. And once they're able to use the divorce court and family court to strip him of his assets and resources, they then get rid of him. Although in many cases, if they can, they will keep on living off him until for the rest of his life, or rather, the rest of his life, because more than likely they will outlive him. So they will extract as much wealth and resources from him through divorce court, through the family court, and hopefully on their part, they'll say through alimony as well. And then you wonder why men are done with relationships. You wonder why men are saying, hey, We don't want to do this anymore. And guess what? There's also another big thing happening. All right? AI girlfriends are making a big splash right now. And who are going to jump on the AI girlfriend bandwagon? The Sims.
Women are already losing big time to the AI ladies, as it were. Tech industries are starting to see that this may be a better investment than the actual dating apps such as Tinder and Bumble and all the rest of them. I forget all the names. It's been so long since I've been on them. Even the Bumble CEO recently came out and said, maybe designing things where women reach out first wasn't such a great idea, because it turns out that the women kind of like to be asked out first. And usually when women make contact first on the app, they just say hi or hello. And a lot of times the guys take over the conversation, just like you think they would. And Bumble's not doing so well, and neither is Tinder. And gosh knows what happened to Plenty of Fish and all the other, Plenty of Squish and all the other ones out there. Well, now there's a couple of dating apps that have come out, or similar dating apps that have come out with AI women. And what the premise is that you can kind of design what you want the girl to look like. You can set up her hobbies. You can set up the conversation type. And you can even design what some of the AI women can look like. And what I think is going to happen is that guys that say, something, I'm getting turned down all the time on dating apps. Women in real life, either don't like me or don't talk to me or ignore me or make fun of me, or there's very little return on my investment, and they're not really great conversationalists anymore because they feel entitled and they require too much from me. I think I'm just going to hang out with the guys, and when the guys are in bed or like doing their own things or whatever, doing their own hobbies, when the guys are in bed or I'm in bed and the world is asleep and I'm done playing my games for the day, I can load up this AI girlfriend, and even though I know it's AI, I can have a conversation and maybe flirt a little bit, and maybe the AI will send me some saucy pictures.
And guess what? He's absolutely right, because the AI is designed right now. I've actually checked them out, and you can actually chat them up, and they will generate pictures for you. So if you chat them up just enough, they will generate pictures for you and send you pictures. Yeah, some saucy pictures. But it's more than that, because a lot of men are just lonely. So guess what? With generative AI, because this is the technology that's going to be powering call centers very soon, where you're going to call in, and the conversation you're going to have is going to be entirely with generative AI. We're at the very beginning of this, guys, right now. The real AI revolution hasn't completely started yet. The goal is to replace the people who are replacing workers in the United States. So the people that are replacing tech workers, like call center workers in the US, the goal is to replace those people. That's the ultimate goal, to replace the people that are replacing the people in the US. All right? It's to replace the outsourcing, the people that they're already outsourcing to. So you're going to call in, and you're going to be greeted by AI. And you're going to have an entire conversation with AI. And the goal, that's the drive right now, where we are headed, where we'll begin just having natural conversations with artificial intelligence. And it's just going to, it'll pause just like you're having a conversation with a real person. And eventually that's where we're going to get to. It's going to, guys, 20 years from now, it's going to be crazy. 20 years from now, if we're still around, holy cow, it's going to be like night and day, where you're just talking to a person. Like, do you think we're living in the future now? Oh, you haven't seen anything yet. And combine that with augmented reality, it's going to be like something out of Blade Runner. Was it Blade Runner 2077, where you had like, this guy had like he had a hologram girlfriend. Guys, we're going to have hologram girlfriends, or rather augmented reality girlfriends, but we're going to be using, glasses. We're going to be using these glasses, AI, augmented reality glasses, and we can basically see and interact with our AI girlfriends like they're sitting next to us, like they're just right next to us. And when we want to talk to them, when we want to see them, we can have conversations with them. It's going to be completely insane, and it's going to change everything. And in that way, it's going to be cheaper to have a relationship with her. Even married men are going to be doing this. Even married men, the few that will remain. And women are going to call it, I guarantee you, women are going to start calling it cheating. They're going to say men having an AI girlfriend or an AI wife is cheating. Like, ladies, if your boyfriend has an AI girlfriend or an AI friend, who's a girl, then you need to break up with that guy, which is insane, y'all. Because these are women who are just going to be lucky enough to have a boyfriend, and you're going to have other women telling them break up with this man if he's talking to an AI girl, if he's talking to an AI girl. I mean, bro, men are already only 1 in every 1,000 men are still getting married, and these women are going to say break up with that man. You'll find something better, guys. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare, man. And it's only going to affect women in much more serious ways because they're not going to be able to replace these men. Okay, only one out of every 1,000 men are marrying right now, and women say they don't care because they're in their feelings, and the only time they're going to realize that, hey, I messed up, is after their feelings betray them, they've lost everything, and then they're forced to sit there and say, yeah, I'm tired of listening to my feelings. I'm going to look at the facts now, and the facts are, my feelings betrayed me. Then there are some women who double down, and they're well into their 60s and 70s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and they're like, oh, everything is wonderful. Like, keep in mind, they're single, they have no children, or they have no husband. They're living in very hard lives, and they're pretending and acting like they're so happy, but they have nothing to show for it. They have nothing and no one, and they're still telling young women they should go down this path. They cry themselves to sleep at night. They panic if there's a knock at the door at night. They are absolutely paranoid. They're miserable and lonely, and they're still telling young women to do exactly what they did because that will validate the bad decisions that they made, and they could care less about the future of these young women. The only thing they care about is validating their bad decisions. So a lot of these women are going to be facing extraordinary amounts of poverty, destitution, living in shelters, dealing with homelessness. And even then, they're still going to say that they deserve millionaires and billionaires and that you should not settle for any broke boys. All the while, you'll have more men going MGTOW, choosing to walk away from relationships and society, living simple lives of luxury, investing their money in uh, crypto, real estate, stocks, and making bank. Even as things get worse for men, men are going to become wealthy over the coming decades. You're going to have tons of men becoming extremely wealthy, and people and society is going to begin saying, how is this possible? Women are more educated than ever. Women have more jobs than men do now. So why is it that men are wealthier than ever? Because men are keeping all of the money that they would be spending on women. They're working fewer hours, their health is getting better, and they're investing all of their disposable income into stocks, real estate, crypto, and other avenues. And as a result of that, they are now creating they're now, living wonderful lives. And they're basically holding on to all of that money. And then, for example, they have a lot of that money in high interest accounts. So that money is developing compound interest. So it's going up every single year, and they're basically just living off the interest. You have a lot of guys who will be living off $1,700 a month. You'll have some guys who will be living off only $1,000 a month. As more men begin getting to the whole homesteading thing, where they begin raising their own animals and getting into the system of bartering, they'll stop buying food entirely and instead begin trading with other men, services, and whatever. And the equivalent will end up being only a couple $100s a month. And so they won't be spending almost virtually anything on food. They won't be spending anything on electricity. They'll set up solar panels and solar grids. They'll dig, they'll they'll dig a well and get access, and that's how they'll get water. They'll set up a water tank, dig a well, and then pull water from the ground if they can. So they'll live in tiny houses, or build a house or a log cabin or whatever, or convert a shipping container into a home. That's a lot of people are doing that right now, converting shipping containers into homes. I mean, and they're going to basically have no bills. These men are going to have zero bills, and they're going to live very, very comfortably. Some men are going to invest in real estate overseas, and whenever they want to like go overseas, or whenever they want to, physical intimacy, or they just want to get out of the country for a little bit, they're going to fly to the Dominican Republic, fly to the Philippines, fly to Japan, fly to another country where they have their real estate, and they're going to go and chill over there. They're going to have so much money that even if they take a loss in some areas, they're just going to cut their loss and say, oh, I just lost $50,000 because I can't go back to this country. Oh well, it's not like I have a wife and kids. I make that easily just from the interest on my money in a single year. And I haven't spent money. I don't spend money on anything. And I have over, $500,000 in the bank, or over $1 million in the bank. Oh well, when you do the math, I got a lot out of it anyway. So yeah, I'm not crying. And for most men, that won't even happen. Most men are not going to see those kinds of massive losses. And, even when they take a loss, the fact is that they don't have a wife, they don't have children. They'll be like, well, yeah, oh, well, I would have lost way more than that being married or having children. I don't care. This is how it is. The collapse of the simp economy has much larger implications for women in Western society and globally. And it's going to result in increased rates of poverty, increased rates of homelessness, increased rates of destitution, more women living in shelters or just being completely unhoused, and men growing wealthy. That's what's really going to happen. Guys, if you're enjoying the content, consider checking out my newsletter. Subscribe to our newsletter for my personal thoughts, insights, and a free copy of my ebook, The Blueprint for Escaping the Rat Race. Click the link in the description to get your free copy of the ebook. What do you guys think regarding all of this? The simp economy has collapsed. Let me know your thoughts, and we'll talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, men walking away. And cheers.